Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that within the next 72 hours, everything you see, touch, and experience could change? Not slowly, not gradually, but as if the world itself bends to your will. Because it does. Your reality is not rigid. It is fluid, shaped entirely by the unseen forces of imagination and belief. What you assume to be true, with deep conviction, must manifest itself outwardly. Not by effort, not by struggle, but by the sheer power of inner knowing. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine. See yourself as the person you long to be. Feel it. Hear the words spoken to you in that new reality. Let the sensation of fulfillment flood your body. If you can do this vividly enough, if you can assume it with certainty, it is already done. The world around you is merely an echo of past assumptions. But today, right now, you are setting a new course into motion. In the next 72 hours, the unseen bridge of events will begin unfolding, leading you straight to the reality you have dared to claim. You do not need to know how, you only need to remain faithful to your new assumption. Doubt is the only thing that delays, but certainty is the force that compels. If you live in the end, if you walk in the assumption that it is already yours, reality will shift to match it. You are not a victim of circumstances, you are the master of them. So assume boldly, accept fully, and in 72 hours watch as the world bends in response. Your imagination is not a mere daydream or idle fantasy. It is the very blueprint of your reality. Every event, every encounter, every circumstance you experience is the externalization of what you have previously accepted as true within your own mind. The world does not happen to you, it happens through you. Think back to moments in your life when something unfolded almost as if by fate. An opportunity, a conversation, an unexpected twist of events that aligned perfectly with your past thoughts or desires. That was not coincidence. That was the law in motion, the invisible force that molds reality according to the images and feelings impressed upon your subconscious mind. When you dwell upon an idea with deep emotion and certainty, you are giving it life. What you persistently see and feel within yourself must eventually be projected outward, just as a seed planted in fertile soil must break through the ground. The nature of the seed determines the harvest. If you plant fear, doubt, and limitation, you will reap struggle and delay. But if you sow confidence, abundance, and fulfillment, your world will reflect these in due time. The process is effortless. You do not need to force the outer world to conform to your vision. You simply need to assume the reality you desire, and the outer world will shape itself accordingly. Your imagination is not bound by the logic of the present moment. It transcends all limitations, for it operates from the unseen realm of creation. The key is not to wish or hope, but to know, to step into the reality you desire so completely in your mind that the external world has no choice but to mirror it. Reality is nothing more than crystallized imagination. You are always creating. The only question is, are you doing it deliberately or by default? Assumption is the force that shapes your world. What you assume to be true, whether consciously or unconsciously, becomes the foundation upon which your reality is built. You do not need external confirmation before you believe something. Rather, belief itself is the cause, and the world arranges itself to reflect it. Most people live in a state of reaction, assuming reality is fixed and independent of their inner world. But the truth is, life does not respond to what you wish for, it responds to what you assume. If you assume success, doors will open where none seem to exist. If you assume failure, obstacles will appear, even in the simplest of paths. It is not the external world that dictates your life, but your deepest, most persistent assumptions about it. To assume is not to hope or to wish. It is to accept something as true, even before there is any physical evidence to support it. The moment you claim something in your mind and feel its reality, you have set unseen forces into motion. Your assumption, firmly held, must harden into fact, because reality has no choice but to conform to the state you have entered. The key is to embody the feeling of already having what you desire. Walk through life as though it is already yours. Think from the end rather than of the end. If you can see yourself as the person who already possesses what you seek, and persist in that state regardless of outer appearances, your assumption will draw to you the necessary circumstances, people, and events to bring it to pass. Doubt is the only barrier. If you assume and then waver, shifting back to your old beliefs, you delay the manifestation. But if you remain unwavering, if you live and breathe your assumption as though it were already a fact, reality will bend to accommodate it. The world is simply the reflection of your most deeply held assumptions. Choose them wisely. Time is not the rigid linear force it appears to be. What you believe about time determines how quickly or slowly your desires materialize. The law of time compression states that when you fully assume a new reality as already done, time collapses, and what might have taken months or years can unfold in days, even moments. Most people believe change takes time because they are conditioned to measure progress through external effort and gradual but reality is shaped from within, not from without. The moment you accept something as true internally, you shift into a new state of being, and the outer world must rearrange itself accordingly. The time it takes for this rearrangement is not fixed. It depends entirely on the intensity of your assumption and the absence of contradiction in your mind. Have you ever noticed how things you truly believed in, without doubt, without hesitation, seemed to manifest almost instantly? That is because in those moments you bypassed the illusion of time. You were so certain, so emotionally absorbed in the reality of your desire, that time had no choice but to bend to your conviction. The future did not unfold slowly, it collapsed into the now. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled with such certainty that it becomes more real to you than the current world, you eliminate the waiting period. You no longer see your desire as something distant or separate. You live in it now, and because you live in it, reality must conform at once. The only reason anything takes time is because you continue to believe it must. Let go of the idea that change must be gradual. Time is a construct of the mind, and you are not bound by it. Assume your desire is already yours, feel it deeply, and hold to that truth. When you do, you will witness what others call miracles, but you will know they are simply the result of understanding how reality truly works. Emotion is the fuel that drives creation. A fleeting thought, no matter how positive, holds little power if it is not saturated with feeling. But when an idea is charged with deep, unwavering emotion, it becomes imprinted on the subconscious mind, compelling reality to align with it. Every desire you hold is not for the thing itself, but for the feeling you believe it will bring. The secret, then, is to generate that feeling now, before any physical evidence appears. The stronger and more sustained the emotion, the faster reality bends to reflect it. This is emotional saturation, the act of so completely immersing yourself in the feeling of your desired outcome that it becomes your dominant state of being. Think of moments in your life when something changed almost instantly. A long-held dream realized, an unexpected opportunity appearing just as you needed it, a sudden shift in circumstances. In those moments, your emotion was absolute. You either longed for something so deeply that it overpowered all doubt, or you were so certain of an outcome that nothing in the external world could shake your belief. That emotional intensity is what imprints your assumption onto reality. Doubt and hesitation weaken the impression, causing delays. But when you hold on to the feeling of already having what you desire, when it saturates your being to the point that it feels more real than anything else, there is no force that can prevent its manifestation. Your inner world always takes precedence over the outer. And when your emotions fully align with your assumption, the external world has no choice but to follow. You are not meant to passively wish for change. You are meant to embody it, to feel it so deeply that it becomes undeniable. When you master emotional saturation, you will no longer wait for evidence. You will create it. Reality is always responding to the dominant emotion you hold. Choose it deliberately, and the world will transform accordingly. Once you have assumed your desired reality and fully accepted it as true, the unseen forces of creation set events into motion to bring it into physical form. This unfolding of events is known as the bridge of incidents, a series of seemingly natural occurrences that guide you from where you are to where you have assumed yourself to be. This bridge is not something you control or plan, it is orchestrated by the very assumption you hold. The moment you accept your desire as already fulfilled, reality begins to shift, arranging people, circumstances, and even unexpected events in perfect alignment with your assumption. What may appear as coincidences, accidents, or even obstacles are all part of the unseen thread weaving your new reality into being. Often the path is unpredictable. The conscious mind, limited by past experiences and logic, may not see how things could possibly unfold. But the higher intelligence that governs all creation knows no limitations. What seems impossible today becomes effortless tomorrow, if only you persist in the state of the wish fulfilled. The bridge will unfold in the most natural way, and you will be carried across it without strain or effort. Doubt and impatience disrupt this process. Many abandon their assumptions too soon, looking for immediate evidence, and, when they do not see it, reverting back to old beliefs. But the bridge does not always reveal itself instantly. It unfolds precisely as needed. The key is trust, knowing that once you have assumed, reality must respond. You do not need to know how your desire will come to pass. You only need to assume it is already yours. The moment you do, the wheels are set in motion, and the bridge will appear before you, step by step. When you look back, you will see that every event, every delay, every redirection was necessary, leading you to exactly where you were meant to be. The journey is inevitable. The only question is whether you will walk across the bridge in faith or hesitate at its entrance. To live in the end is to abandon the present limitations and fully embody the state of your fulfilled desire. It is not to wish, to hope, or to anticipate, but to assume, with absolute certainty, that what you seek is already yours. When you live in the end, you are no longer looking forward to your desire manifesting, you are experiencing it now, in consciousness, before it takes form in the physical world. Most people live in a state of waiting. Your reality is not shaped by external forces, but by the assumptions you hold, the emotions you saturate your mind with, and the certainty with which you claim your desires. The moment you dare to accept something as true, regardless of what your senses tell you, the world begins to shift in response. Time collapses, events align, and an invisible bridge is constructed to carry you effortlessly to your assumed reality. You are not bound by circumstances, nor are you a victim of fate. You are the creator, the master of your experience, and your imagination is the tool through which you shape your world. Live in the end, think from your desire rather than of it, and let unwavering faith replace doubt. In 72 hours, your reality will shift, not by chance, but by the undeniable power within you. Assume boldly, feel deeply, and walk forward in certainty. The world will bend to your conviction, for it has no choice but to reflect the truth you claim as your own.